Okay, so we're looking for persuasive language features found in this speech here, given by President Kennedy. And we're going to do that by using the aforist method. And if you remember, that stands for alliteration, fact, opinion, repetition, emotive language, statistics, and rule of three. Obviously, there are features that are used that don't fit into those different categories, and I'm going to try and draw some out here as well, because it's important to remember that if you do spot a persuasive feature or a feature of language that has been used persuasively, do make a note of that as well. Don't just restrict your analysis to the aforist methods. Now, of course, Kennedy here is persuading people that going to the moon is a good idea, and explaining why America is devoting billions of dollars to basically putting a man on a lump of rock. So, he needs to be persuasive about it. Well, how does he do that? Well, firstly, there's no real alliteration here, which is a shame. But shall we have a quick look through and see if we can find some facts? Well, we have got some facts here. His reference in 35 years ago, obviously to the time that he is talking from, people flew over the Atlantic. The hazards of space being hostile to everyone equally, regardless of their nationality. And his decision to shift efforts in space from low to high gear. So we've got facts here. Now, opinion. This is full of opinion. This one, for example, here. For the eyes of the world now look to space, to the moon and planets beyond. Well, that's an opinion. Someone, for example, at the time of writing, not everyone in the world is looking into space, to the moon and planets beyond. People would have other things that they're concerned with. This generation does not intend to founder in the backwash of the coming age of space. Well, again, that's very opinionated, and it's an opinion that a lot of the people at the time would not have shared. A lot of people in America at the time thought that landing a man on the moon was dangerous, it was a waste of money, that could be better spent elsewhere. So we've got some opinion there. Obviously, there's more opinions than I've detailed. Repetition. Repetition is found throughout, really. We've got this bit here. We chose to go to the moon is repeated there. We chose to go to the moon in this decade. Again, is repeating part about the moon. The general theme of exploration, for example, there is new knowledge to be gained. Going to the moon in general, that could be considered repetition as well. He's repeating the same themes. And again, another theme that he's repeating here as well is instruments of knowledge and understanding. So again, we're seeing that theme of exploration for exploration's sake, for the sake of gaining knowledge. Emotive language. There is plenty of emotive language here. There really is. We have vowed, well, that's a very strong word there. We have vowed to see that we shall not see space filled with weapons of mass destruction. The vows of this nation, again, we've got a bit of repetition here as well. And again, this emotive language here, terrifying theatre of war, so it's warning about the consequences of militarizing space and putting weapons in space. Opportunity for peaceful cooperation and the fact that it may never come again. Again, we're seeing plenty of emotive language coming out here. Okay, so statistics. Well, we haven't really got many statistics here, really, as such. Rule of three, we can see quite a lot of. For example, made certain that this country rode the first wave of industrial revolutions. First waves of modern invention. and the first wave of nuclear power. Now you may have noted here that repetition and rule of 3 are very similar. The idea, of course, is if you repeat something 3 times, it's more likely to stick in. So we've dealt with the Forest techniques. I just want to draw your attention to another couple of techniques that he has used here that don't crop up in Forest but are still quite useful to draw out. The idea of contrast, that we shall not see space filled with weapons of mass destruction but with instruments of knowledge and understanding, sometimes referred to as juxtaposition, is contrasting two things here. And again here we can see this. We've chosen to go to the moon not because set ourselves these goals, not because they're easy, but because they are hard. So he's contrasting those two ideas, that we're not doing this because it's easy, but because they are hard. And again, what he's doing here with this use of language is put into direct contrast two different ideas to heighten the importance or the effect of one of them, i.e. in this one that it's hard, and in this one up here, the space should be a space or a place of knowledge, understanding and discovery, and not of war. And again, another one I missed earlier, we will not see it governed by a hostile flag of conquest, but by a banner of freedom and peace. So again, we're seeing lots of contrast here. It's contrasting different ideas to heighten one of them, and also to show the consequences of the other. Another one is done here is a use of humour. So he's used humour here. He's saying, why does Rice play Texas? Now you'll notice that I've put a little footnote at the bottom. He's speaking at Rice University, which had quite a poor football team at the time, and he's referencing the fact that Rice plays Texas, who had a very strong football team, American football of course. Well, he's asking a rhetorical question really. He's saying, well, why do they play Texas? And then he goes on to explain it. It's not because it's easy, but because it's hard, because it's a challenge that we will devote our energies to and that we will hopefully overcome. And again, this leads me quite nicely into another feature he's used here as well, which is the rhetorical question. And he's used quite a few of them in this paragraph here. And he then, of course, goes on to answer these rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question, of course, is a question that's not designed to be answered. It's designed to get you thinking. So, quick analysis of some of the language features used in this speech by Kennedy, and an explanation of why they've been used. There we go.